Welcome back everybody, how are you doing? Hopefully you had a great trading day. Today I want to talk about the other way of finding the trend line, because today I actually found two of the trend lines from the other side that I normally find the trend lines. I'm going to show you guys right here. If you look at the market structure swinging up and down, what I did was that I was starting to notice some sort of trend working up higher. You can see that the highs are forming kind of in a geometrical pattern, lows are being formed in a geometrical pattern. So I just tried to find the trend line from the upper side of the trend line. And this is unusual because most of the times, most of traders, they actually find the trend line from the lows in an uptrend or from the highs in a downtrend. But if we find the trend line from the opposite direction, this will give us an edge, because most people, they wait, like in an uptrend, they wait for the lows to confirm the trend line. But if we find the trend line from the upper side, we will have an advantage over multiple retail traders. So what I did, I found the trend line from the tops. You can see the trend line is fitting from the tops. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just have to be close. You will have to tweak the trend lines as you go. And I put it down lower like this. I found the bounce fit right here, and we came to the trend line right here. Now this isn't a surprise, this is very early session. This is my time, this is like 9 o'clock. So this is early session, and for all of you who are in the US, this is overnight. And you know the overnight, it has very low volatility. So this is not uncommon. A lot of times you will have a break early and maybe it will not even count. This is specific for S&P 500. But I just want to pay attention that you can find a trend line from the upper side in an uptrend, and I did the same thing in a downtrend. I had no idea about the highs here, but what I did, I was looking at these lows right here. So what did I do? I used my drawing tool and I tried to find the trend line that would fit, and you can see that it fits nicely. It fits right here, confirm right here, and confirm right here. And I just copy the trend line and just copy it, and I move it higher. Now, we didn't get a new low here, and I was very caught off guard by this. Of course, I will get to the trade early, but let's talk about what happened today. So we are starting with an uptrend. So everything right now is screaming up. And my first trade today, I was trying to take this trade. Even though we have a break here and attempt a new high, we're inside the trend line. We are above the EMA. It is a bullish reversal bar. I was really hoping to go long here. I saw with my limit order, I think 2 ticks back right here. And once we went higher and even above this bar, I canceled my limit order. And unfortunately, prices came back. They would have filled me nicely and I would have easily gotten my scalp here. But you definitely don't want to go long on this bullish bar at the resistance. You don't want to go long there. This is a triple top. You want to be very careful. But I got left behind here, and it was my mistake. But yeah, that happens. At this point, prices are starting to look this is starting to look like a topping pattern. We have multiple tops, and prices are just starting to consolidate a little bit. So I draw my trend line from the lows. You have to draw these trend lines, the short-term ones, not only the bigger ones, because a lot of people that I trade with, they want to only find the bigger ones, and they are lazy. They want to skip on the short-term ones, but the short-term ones are valid as well. They will give you an edge. They will lead you to winning trades. And just like here, we have a first entry from the EMA, but it's too early. This is just the first entry. This is not according to our rule. So we have to wait another pullback and a second entry. This is the low. First entry, first attempt by the bears to go low, pullback, second attempt by the bears to go low. And notice how we ticked higher. EMA held nicely like a resistance. We made a smaller double top and we spiked down lower. And as you can tell, you know me, I use limit orders and I got filled. I didn't get filled here. I got left behind because you can see there's a little gap. You can see the prices didn't even take one tick back. They just gapped and continue going lower. So this trade, this is the hard trade to take. You probably wouldn't have been able to take this trade even with the stop, because this was very volatile and it happened quickly. This is the easy money. This is how you can make 500 bucks in 5 seconds. So this is the trade you want to take if you can get in. And prices consolidated, and this is when I was looking at this and I was kind of eyeballing. There might be some sort of pattern, and just remember, you will you will adjust these trend lines during the day, and sometimes you will find a trend line and it will not even come into play. This is normal. All traders do this. Every professional trader is trying to find the trend lines all over the chart, and with experience you will find the best ones. But it doesn't mean that I always find the trend lines and it always look like this. Sometimes I'm working with a trend line and trend line will not even come into play later. It doesn't happen that often, but it may happen. So this point we have a consolidation right here. Prices broke higher, pull back as they always do. This is a breakout pullback, but I'm looking at this as a downtrend now. We have a break and attempt to make a new high here from this upper working higher trend channel, and now we are in a downtrend. We were under EMA, so this correction is working higher. We have a break and a new high. Okay, so now our correction bullish has played off. Now we may keep looking for shorts now. And since I'm already trying to find a trend line, my first initial instinct was find a trend line from the high right here and put it right here. And it may fit. This may actually fit looking at back here now, because we may have a break here and a new low, and this would explain why traders weren't looking to go short and why we just rallied off right here quickly. So at this point we have a new high, and notice the new high. Prices are working lower and we made attempt higher. We ticked above this bar. So this is the first entry long, pullback, and the second entry long. Now you don't want to go short below this weird doji looking bar. You want to go short below this nice bearish bar. We're trying to go short. We're looking for bearish signals, and this is nice red bearish bar. It is from the trend line, and it is a failed second entry long. So failed second entry long worked once again, a good pattern. And the reason why you want to take it, because this correction played out. This was a major key. This correction, break any new high. Now we have to abandon the bullish activity and focus on the bears. So this was a good short. I got filled on this one. Unfortunately, you can see that the prices ticked back and got me filled. Now look, notice how this is too steep. It was very tempted to take this trade and it would have worked per scalp only, barely. But you are still inside of this trend line, and notice how this was so steep. This was very, very steep, and I was afraid that since we are coming from the lower side of the channel, it is too early to go short. You might give it a little bit more room, and this is what happened. We made a double top on the EMA. EMA is holding, and we made a nice little bar, which is small risk. And you sometimes want to try to sneak in with the low risk entry, because you don't get much of low risk entries like that. And I didn't get filled. It would have worked. This is where I went short, and I only marked it because I went short here, because I want to show you guys where I take the trades. But you don't want to go short there. This is a horrible signal bar, but my experience was really telling me, but a lot of times you will not get the perfect signal bar near these trend lines. And I know that a lot of retail traders, they will not go short here because they're waiting for the perfect signal bar. So this was just my gut feeling. I went short here. I snuck in with the limit order a lot. You can see I really tried to snuck in further back, so I risk as little as possible. You can see prices went higher and filled me, instantly scalped out, and this was the better entry. This was the entry that I should have taken probably first. This was the new high, pullback, first entry, pullback, second entry. So this is the second entry long that failed. You're supposed to go short here. It is still, the trend line is still holding. Now it's, now that we're looking at the high side, it doesn't look that obvious, but when you look at the right side of the chart, look at this. The trend line is holding nicely. This is a downtrend. It is obvious that we may still get pushed at least to these lows. Of course now it looks obvious that it didn't happen, but at the point when I was trading, I was really focusing. And once again, this is a repeat pattern of this pattern. Look at this. First entry, second entry long here that failed. First entry, second entry long here that failed. And the same pattern is right here. Notice this new high. First entry, pullback, second entry long that failed. Once again, nice reversal bar. Nice reversal bar right here, bearish, a nice bearish bar right here. So learning to trade is not that hard, the setups they repeat, and you can see that if you just learn to spot the failed second entry long, you know, just want this setup, if you just become comfortable with this one setup. And why we took this, why did we take this? Because we are waiting for a new low for this trend line. Because initially I thought the trend line is something like this, so I was still really waiting for a new low, and I got very caught off guard that we just rallied up from here like yeah, nothing, you know. I was kind of surprised. And there might be some bigger trend line working higher like this. What I recommend, when the bigger trend line is not clear, I recommend you to stick to the shorter term ones. So you can see that the shorter term trend lines are working as well. And the reason why I mark this trade, normally I don't mark second entries. You already kind of know how I trade. I don't like second entries. I like to wait for higher probability setup second entries. But this is, we made it to the EMA, we made it to trend line. But the reason is, this is a breakout pullback. If we didn't retest this support that previously acted as a resistance, because this is a consolidation, this is a small trading range, prices broke higher and pulled back. And because we have this resistance that now acts as a support with the trend line, so these are two key entry points. Sort of say, I can say it like this, if you understand what I mean. We got like two signals to enter here, kind of like two supports. So even though it is just a first entry, you got two supports, and even EMA is holding in an uptrend now. So this was the reason why I marked this trade. And now, yeah, we still continue going higher. Now we're inside of this upper trend channel line. Yeah, this trend channel line is looking valid. It's fitting here nicely. It's fitting here nicely from the lows right here. So this was the this was the day for the day. And just remember, you want to find the trend lines from the lows, because this will give you an edge. Most beginner traders, first of all, they don't even trade the trend lines. They just, you know, using MACD, Bollinger Bands, you know, RSI, you know, overbought, oversold, and that stuff will not yield consistent result. But if you trade the price action, you want to try to find the trend lines from the lows in an downtrend and from the highs in an uptrend, because you will then anticipate the setup at the highs in a downtrend, at the lows in an uptrend. So remember, it's not just, you know, so easy just to look from the most obvious, you know, side. Try to find the trend line from the opposite way as well. And this is more advanced. I understand it is not that easy, but you can see that if the trend line fits here nicely, and this is why I was still sold on the trade so much right here. And yeah, we just reverse from here. And I don't trade Fibonacci's. I know traders that love Fibonacci's, and they are trying to convince me to use these. But you can see this 6180 and this 60 or 50. It is 50. Yeah, it is 50 level. These are the most common levels that prices will reverse from. So if you're trading Fibonacci's, you can actually give me some insight in the comment section if you have some success with them. I don't use it because I'm relying on price action. I don't need it, but they're definitely, over the years I've noticed there's something to them. So yeah, so hopefully this video was helpful to you. Hopefully you had a great trading day, and keep studying the chart. And I'm about to film some live session soon. A lot of traders are waiting for me to see some live examples, but I always do it once I make a lot of money that I can afford to lose money if anything goes bad on live trading, because trading live is it's a little bit more in front of camera. It's a little bit stressful to record it and trade live and, you know, commentate and talk to you guys. So nevertheless, I will try to, maybe tomorrow or Friday, I will try to record my trading. So as for now, peace out guys, stay safe.